we go with our core featured attraction of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome another continental visitor. This time from Oldham, Poland. Here is Lawniczak.
I'm not taking them fights though, it's bad, dude. There's easier fights out there, do you know what I mean? Well, listen, I respect, man. You know when to put yourself in the fight, you know when not to put yourself in the fight. So don't go down there and get fight them yardies and be too fucking afraid. Go on, you just crack on. I know I could have 200 of these, but the right people. There's easier fights out there.
And ladies and gentlemen, entering the building, it's prime flash time. Here comes Zelfa Barrett.
Who's he fighting? Fighting the same guy he fought in Liverpool. Zelfa fought twice in a week, and he said he felt awful the second fight. Oh, yeah. So he said he's going to, I reckon, might put on a bit of a showing. What did he weight tonight? Who'll tell it? 9'8". He tells me.
Barrett Lawniczak, 6 3-minute rounds.
Ladies and gentlemen, we do have to have you seated before our co-featured event. Please take your seats, thank you. Otherwise, we cannot commence. Team Barrett have also entered the building. Paul Silva and Pat Blackflash. Barrett Black Flash Promotions in association with VIP Promotions, live and exclusive on VIP Boxing.tv, live from the Oldham Leisure Centre. Collyhurst and Boston Boxing Club. Brian Hughes, MBE, sponsored proudly by Andrew Cowie Construction, building on reputation, White Moss Pharmacy. The officials have been appointed by the Central Area Council of the British Boxing Board of Control. This contest is 6 3-minute rounds of boxing in the lightweight division. Introducing to you firstly, boxing out of the blue corner, wearing the red coloured shorts trimmed with white. At the weight, he scaled 9 stone, 5 pounds, 6 ounces. Tonight is his 21st professional contest. He hails from Poznan, Poland. A warm Oldham welcome, please, for Lawniczak. And opposing him, boxing out of the red corner, wearing the black, gold, blue and white coloured shorts. At the weight, he scaled 9 stone, 8 pounds. His perfect, unblemished record this evening reads 10 contests, 10 wins. 4 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Hailing from Harper Hay and Collyhurst, Manchester, presenting the undefeated Zelfa Barrett. Timekeeper bell, Peter Humphrey. Referee in charge of the action, Liverpool's Mark Lyson. This is 6 3-minute rounds. Thank you.
Okay, boys, open the rules.
He's gone now. He's just gone to the instructions now. So we go 6 rounds. Zelfa Barrett taking on Lawniczak. I wasn't listening to Michael Passey's expert pronunciation of it. Should we call him Lawniczak?
Seconds out, round 1.
I'm going to call him the Poznan Destroyer.
Say what you see, Steve. Say what you see. What's Mr. Chips doing?
Now, Zelfa beat him in Liverpool, John.
Yeah.
Zelfa fought him in the Echo Arena not too long ago now. It was Zelfa fought twice in a week, and that was his second fight. He said he felt flat and he was a bit disappointed with his performance, so I expect him to come out and maybe try and put right what he sees as a wrong and try and get rid of Damien.
Really impressed with Zelfa last time against Chris Hadaway. Who's not a bad fighter at all, despite statistically poor record that was on the Frank Warren's VIP Boxing Bolton show. He put Chris away in 2 rounds. That was one. I think that was his best performance so far. Although you've followed him since day one, you may have another favourite performance.
Well, I always thought, up until that, I have a bit of a soft spot for Joe Beeden. I think he's a really tough guy, and Zelfa just demolished him that night.
I had a load of notes that night. I was looking forward to telling people that were tuning into VIP Boxing all about Zelfa Barrett, and you know, I had all this stuff wrote down about how far he was going to go, fights I'd seen, turning over from the amateurs, sparring he'd been getting in, and then he went in there and took Beeden out in a round, and people just don't do that to Joe Beeden.
Natural shot there, you know, left-hand head body in one movement. It's something, you know, some fighters he pours in between. He just does it naturally. The thing is, he weighed 9'8" tonight. He tells me when I interviewed him last time for Box Nation, he could make 9'4" in super featherweight. I find that hard to believe, John.
I've looked, if he's coming in 9'8" for a routine 6-rounder, could he do it with a few extra weeks? But there doesn't look to be a picking on him, and he does live the life, doesn't he? There's not much more he could do in his actual training-wise to get the weight off, I don't think. I think he'd actually have to be losing water, which would diminish him.
Yeah, you look at the legs, that's the legs of, you know, a super lightweight, isn't it?
Yeah. Question here for you, Steve. Zelfa's, you know, we talk about celebrity friends, and it always helps you get on in the sport. Zelfa Barrett's friendly with Bugsy Malone. Are you a fan of his music, Steve?
No, not at all. Come on. Look, if he said he was a friend of, you know, Steve Jones of the Sex Pistols or Stinky Turner of the Cockney Rejects, Susie Sue of Susie and the Banshees was, you know, his sugar mum or something, then I'd identify totally. Not Bugsy Malone. Didn't he do that film with Fat Sam and all those guys in it? Yeah, is that the guy?
It's the same name, mate, but it's different people.
Yeah.
One of them used to wear bright-coloured suits and walk around with a shooter. In fairness, you know, I'm not going to comment. I'm sure this one from Manchester.
I haven't got a clue. Bugsy Malone, the rapper, hip-hopper, MC, whatever he is. I'm guessing that's what he is.
Yeah, he was on at Park Life. He also supported the Stone Roses a few weeks ago at the Etihad. Yeah.
I bet you were there for the Stone Roses, Claymaker.
No, I wasn't actually. You know, I made a conscious decision not to go. I didn't want to ruin the bit of a legacy that they still have with me there, Steve. Andy Popolowski's joining us as well from Scotland. Good friend of mine is the Pops. How's it going, Andy? Tweet us in, mate. Hashtag VIP Boxing Live. Question for you, Steve. Question for Steve Lillis from Johnny Pygott. Which heavyweight champion will eventually go on to dominate the division?
Tyson Fury's the best. If Tyson Fury gets the fights in the next year or so, it could be Tyson Fury. I'm not sure he's going to get the fights. You know, Joshua's done nothing wrong so far. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised to see Deontay Wilder come through still. I think he's, you know, does so much wrong, but there's something about him. He finds, you know, when we have seen him before go to the. You know, stick to his boxing when he won the title against the Haitian guy who Don King promotes. If I would go right now, put a gun to my head, if it happens in the next year, I'd say Tyson Fury.
Yeah, I agree. I think Tyson, he's got the ability to diffuse everybody, hasn't he? He seems to be able to make everybody fight his kind of fight, which is, it's a quality that not everyone's got. If you look at Joshua against Brazil and Martin and people like that, I hope to God we're getting him sparring cruiserweights and light heavyweights and getting him to track people down, because Ortiz, Fury, at the moment, they give him a run around because he's just working in straight lines, isn't he?
The one person who is all wrong for Anthony Joshua at the moment, and I'm a big Joshua fan. In time, he could go on and be a great dominant heavyweight, and you know, Fury might unify the division quicker, but Joshua could prove to be a greater champion. But by going for this IBF title, they've cut out a lot of learning fights, and they've got to be careful with him. But right now, the person that is all wrong for him, I'd say, is David Haye.
It's interesting we're talking about. There's one or two people whose opinion I always listen to when they talk about a fight. Ed Robinson's one of them people, and Ed Robinson's convinced that Anthony Joshua's got David Haye's number. I've never seen Ed so confident when he talks about a fight. He talks about a prediction, and I wouldn't say he'd put his house on it because he's had a few problems with his house, but yeah, he'd probably put the shed on it, would Ed?
Yeah, Ed's a college of knowledge when it comes to boxing. I've known Ed a long time. His days worked with Frank Maloney, Frank Warren. Now God, he's doing a great job at Sky.
Lovely jab there.
So,
Off Barrett, set him up for a little right hand to the body as well.
It was like a collective pause of breath then, wasn't it, when Zelfa just stumbled back? Everyone waiting to see if it was a punch or whether he'd just gone over his feet, but judging by his reaction, he'd gone over his feet. When he gets his range and snaps the punches out, he's dangerous, isn't he? I think if anyone throws punches at Zelfa, they're going to get taken out.
The thing with Zelfa is almost like his uncle. He does a lot of the stuff naturally. You can see the left jab there is at an angle. He's ready to flick it out all the time. You know, it's everything just seems to be so natural, doesn't it, John? Everything he does is natural. He's a great talent.
I think he's a joy to watch. When he made his debut on the first ever Black Flash show, and he fought Christian Late, and now you see everybody beats Christian Late. No disrespect, Christian, because I know you're watching, but there was something about the way Zelfa did it. He was moving his angles, and he just looked a different level of the prospects that you see coming through. He had a bit of a sticky period where he fought the same guys a couple of times and was disappointed himself, but since Frank signed him up, I think Zelfa's the type of character that will thrive in the limelight and expectation. I think he's gone on to a different level again.
It's all natural. It's all just like his uncle. He's fantastic to watch.
Yes,
and Steve would tell me after about 3 fights about this kid. I think one of the reasons he wanted to sign him with Frank was, he could go on Terry Flanagan bills at the arena and gradually build up a fan base that way.
He's been sparring a lot with Terry in the build-up to this, hasn't he? So, fantastic. Text in your questions on text. God, have we gone back in time? Use Twitter to send in your questions using hashtag VIP Boxing Live. Got Matty Ryan coming up after this. Zelfa Barrett's latest appearance.
A little bit of irony there. British Boxing Board of Control. Well, I don't know what. A British Boxing Board of Control officials just walked round and asked the ringside photographers to turn the flashes off. One of them's just made him know it is a black flash show, and I think the irony was lost on him. But Karen Priestley's over there, yeah, flashing away. Get your eyes over there, Steve.
Oh, you've got a thing for Karen. You keep going back to Karen. Is there, I don't know.
Corners 10 seconds.
Been joined by Steve Wood. Good evening, Steve. How's it going? Go on, put your little voice on that you always go when you put on the radio.
I've just been to the back to get
Seconds
some
out.
money.
Referee.
That's a fucking lovely lot.
Sean Crewell's here as well. Are you enjoying this fight, Sean? Yes, I think it's a cracking fight. It's not as good as Mindaugas, but it's a good fight. Thanks for that, Sean.
Zelfa went back to the corner there and shrugged his shoulders with a little wry grin towards his uncle Pat, as just say, yeah, I'm home and dry and there's nothing he can do to try. I knew it from before, and he's put on a bit of a show here tonight, going through the motions, throwing all different punches. He's had a little right uppercut there, just missed by inches, but that's what I was saying, Sean. Everything he does is natural, it's not taught.
I think he could fight for a Central Area title now, right now. Pat wants to hold him back until he's had 15 fights. What do you think of that, Steve? Should you let him off the leash, or can you see that?
You know what, we're in an era now where fighters aren't getting that sort of time before they're let off the leash. It's a different sort of era there we're in now. Before, they're getting let off the leash a lot quicker. Pat's going back to the days when he used to box, they'd have 15, 20 fights. And then once they reached that level at 15 fights, they never left that level. There was no going back. So I get Pat's thinking, and you know what? I'm not going to disagree with Pat because he knows a lot more than me about his nephew, matching him and what's right for him. I'll go with what Pat says.
A little bit like the old Chris Eubank. I went to Sportsman Dinner a few weeks ago and I asked Chris Eubank. I told him he's been accused of being the most difficult man in British boxing to deal with by Eddie and by Frank Warren. What did he say to that? He said at the end of the day, I'm looking after a member of my family, who's better placed to do that. So that's how Pat's looking at this with Zelfa. For me, the signs here in this fight are pretty ominous here. I think Zelfa's going through the motions now. The shots are coming a little bit naturally. A little bit more natural, should I say. He's letting them go. Some of the body shots, while the borderline, are fantastic shots.
I think Eddie and Frank both appreciate that, when you're looking after someone in your family, I think it's just the way some of the negotiations and what I'm told go with Chris, what's agreed one day, so you think you're there, the next day it's not. I think that's what Eddie and Frank have found particularly frustration. There's a lot of talk now. Golovkin was off this afternoon. Now it's back on. You know, and I think, I mean, I'm not privy to those negotiations, but if I had a pound, it would be on the other side of the Eubank side.
Zelfa's hurting Damien to a body badly here now. He hurt him a big right hand. You can hear it landing, can't you? A big slap. Zelfa's so tall for a lightweight and so rangy. When he gets his range and he lands that right up to her body, the guy's hands are dropping now. He capitalise on that by coming over the top. There you go, left up to the body and down goes Damien. He's in agony there. I think this is all over.
5, 6.
Yeah, this is
7,
all over. He's not getting up.
8.
Proves me wrong. That was Lazarus. I'm renaming him Lazarus. Damien Lazarus Lawniczak.
The body language there of Lawniczak, and you could just see the signs that Zelfa was getting to him. Probably towards the end of the second round, the third round, he's carried on the offence. Whipping in those uppercuts, whipping in the left hand to the body.
He was seriously hurt there, how he's got up, and you know what? You can't say he's come here just to lay down then, Lawniczak. A proud man. He might have had quite a few losses on his record, but he's only been stopped twice, and if he can make that happen, I think the Poznan destroyer knows he's not going to win tonight, but if he can get through the 6 rounds, he'll be more than happy.
Question from Jonathan Smith. Frankie Gavin's back against Sam Eggington soon. Do we think he can go on to world level, or is it going to be back to European level at best for Frankie?
I think he'll beat Sam Eggington, and it's up to Frankie Gavin how far he can go. It's always been that. I think Frankie, I know he might disagree with me if he's listening. I get on very well with Frankie. I think he's a super lightweight. I'd like to see him at super lightweight. There's fights out there for him. I think, you know, Sam Eggington, he could take the Bradley Skeet rematch if it's out there. But with Frankie, he's always been how good does he want to be. I'd love to see him finally fulfil that potential. You know, I remember when he won the World Championships in Chicago in 2006. What a fighter I thought he was going to be then. It hasn't quite happened for him professionally.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Another body shot, and that might be all over
6,
now. He's got up again.
7, 8.
Lawniczak really tried to get up there. That was a fantastic performance. John Evans thought that was going to be a performance and a half from Zelfa Barrett tonight. It was more than that. It was a brilliant performance from Zelfa Barrett, and the show that John promised us that he was going to give, he gave in some style. And the more I see Zelfa Barrett, the better he becomes. He's 11-0 now, and that's his fourth stoppage win in his last 5 fights after 3 or 4 points wins on the spin. John, I'm sure you'll correct me if I'm wrong or right there.
Yeah, he was fighting the likes of Christian Lake, Jamie Quinn, Ibrahim Riaz. Since he fought Ismail Anwar and just stepped up a little level, the guys are obviously more ambitious, they leave gaps and he's taking them out. He's apparently was talking to Alex Schroeder, he's a very stiff hitter. You know, you feel the weight of every shot, and if you don't feel the weight, you feel the speed of it. He's apparently a very, very difficult guy to deal with in the gym.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 40 seconds of round number 4, referee Mark Lyson has stopped the contest. In his opinion, Damien Lawniczak was in no position to continue. Therefore, your winner, now undefeated in 11 professional contests from Harper Hay and Collier-Hurst, Zelfa Barrett.
You're putting him in?
Yeah, British beat in
A fine and game effort from Poznan's Damien Lawniczak, ladies and gentlemen.
I've got to do him, so I've got to get him on the phone tomorrow, man. If I don't catch Pat tonight, I'll get the number off you.